We have some leaks, rumors, and updates on some upcoming games. Lots of stuff to talk about with the big showcases just around the corner. So N64's Goldeneye is one of the most nostalgic first-person shooters out there. It's one of the first first-person shooters that a lot of people jumped into in terms of the local multiplayer aspect of it. It was really awesome when it came out, but it is a game that has not aged very well graphically in terms of controls and all of that type of stuff. So an HD remake of Goldeneye, the original one from the N64, is something that people have been wanting to see for a very long time. We've heard a lot of information recently about it's potentially going to finally get released because we've seen achievements popping up, and the achievements were for Xbox and they looked like exactly what you should expect to see for an achievement for the N64 version of the game. We have some more information here seemingly confirming that this release for the HD remaster of Goldeneye could be right around the corner. So Wario64 over here on Twitter showed some screenshots that the Goldeneye 007 achievements were viewable on Xbox's website, meaning that these are all ready to go. They just need to release the game. We're going to be able to get access to unlocking all of these achievements. We know the Xbox and Bethesda showcase is just around the corner, so this could be one of those big announcements that comes out, that the HD remaster will be playable for Xbox, probably into Xbox Game Pass or something along those lines. And this is a game that has been already pretty much made. It was supposed to come out on the Xbox Live Arcade back in 2007, and this is a video of it, completely remastered, looks a lot better, apparently has better controls and all that type of stuff to make it something that will be more fun to replay. And it just never got released with all of the licensing issues with Nintendo, with Rare, with MGM, Xbox, all that type of stuff. And now it looks like we're going to eventually get it. And hopefully that announcement, like I said, is going to be coming on June 12th at the Xbox and Bethesda showcase. Now, this is a game, like I said, very good when it first came out, extremely popular. I had a ton of fun playing GoldenEye back in the game, but it just didn't age well. So this HD remaster is something that is definitely needed. It'll be great for people who have the nostalgia for the game to go back and play it. And I think it's one of those games that if you've never played it before, you're a video game fan, you like first-person shooters, it's just one you have to check out for like the historical factor of GoldenEye 007. So Crash Bandicoot got a revival with Crash Bandicoot 4, a very, very good game, one of the best platformer franchises out there. And we know that Toys for Bob is going to be a part of Xbox Game Studios with the Activision Blizzard acquisition from Microsoft. So Crash Bandicoot, the IP that originally started as the PlayStation mascot, is now going to be an Xbox mascot, an Xbox Game Studios game. And it looks like they may be making a brand new Crash Bandicoot game. This comes via Windows Central's Jez Corden on the latest episode of the Windows Central Gaming Podcast. And he says here, when talking about Toys for Bob, says, "New Crash, I wonder where you got that information from. I wasn't supposed to leak that." I think we could see a new Crash Bandicoot, and not only is it going to be a new Crash Bandicoot, it's going to be a multiplayer Crash Bandicoot. It's like a 4-player brawler almost, but Crash oriented. So very intriguing as to what they are going to be doing with Crash Bandicoot, if it is going to be a brawler, how that will play out, what characters they'll be putting into all that stuff, and just how fun it will be. Kind of maybe along the lines, if you think back to Power Stone on the Dreamcast, where it was just like a small arena brawler where you had a couple players in there fighting it out. But I mean, I'm happy to see this because I think Toys for Bob does a great job, especially with their remasters and the stuff that they've done, or the remakes with like Spyro, the Crash series, the brand new Crash Bandicoot 4. And the Crash IP just has a ton of potential for Xbox going forward. It is a very popular franchise, a very popular mascot. And I wonder if this announcement, if it does happen during this next week of shows, is this going to be something that's announced at the Xbox and Bethesda showcase, or like the Future Game Show, or the Summer Games Fest show? We'll have to wait and see, but I think if Xbox were able to get a brand new Crash IP announced at their show, it'll be a big announcement. It will be an announcement that kind of gives us a future glimpse into what we should expect going forward once the Activision Blizzard deal closes. So jumping over here to Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time remake. This is a game that has been announced for a while. It's a game that has been delayed. And in the last week, we saw some very weird things going on where retailers were delisting it from their pre-orders, getting people thinking that this game potentially could be canceled. Now, we got an update on this Luckily, it isn't canceled, but it is just delayed again. It's like an under the table delay type of thing where they didn't really make a big announcement for it, but they did issue a statement to IGN. And this is from Ubisoft saying the development of Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time remake will now be led by Ubisoft Montreal. We're proud of the work achieved by Ubisoft Pune, and Ubisoft Mumbai and Ubisoft Montreal will benefit from their learnings as the new team will continue to work to deliver a great remake. As a consequence, we are no longer targeting a fiscal year 2023 release anymore, and the game has been delisted. If players wish to cancel their pre-order, they are invited to contact their retailer. They will be updated on their project as the development is moving along. So delayed again, no longer targeting fiscal year 2023. Now, I'm not 100% sure what they mean by that, because I believe their fiscal year ends in March, so March 31st. So technically it could release still in 2023, just sometime after March 31st. Now, this is a complete remake of the game, so it's not just a remaster, but this is one that a lot of people are very excited for, myself included. I've been looking forward to Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time remake for a very long time now. I wonder what's so difficult. I wonder why it is continuously getting delayed and what is taking so long, and it is jumping in between studios, meaning seemingly there is probably a lot more work to be done, and we may not see this game until like 2024 or 2025, and they're just kind of trying to get people to, I guess, forget about it as they're delisting it from the pre-order site. So then when it's ready to be shown off and ready to come out, they'll be able to put out a trailer and get people hyped with a more reasonable release date. Something we keep seeing along the industry right now is so many trailers, so many games that have been announced, and then so many delays because of everything that's been going on with the world, and just other reasons why games just aren't coming out when they are being announced for. And I think this is something that a lot of people want to see change. I hope with the upcoming showcases this year, we get more realistic announcements, games that either have gameplay or that are actually going to be coming out in the next 2 years or so, and not games that are going to be coming out 5-6 years down the road. Because I feel like for a lot of these games, when they show them off, they announce them and they have nothing to show. They're just trying to build hype for it. They're just trying to get their names out there and get people talking about these things. But then the hype dies down, and then we see stuff like this continuously happening. We also know that Ubisoft was looking at some sort of sale, staying with the Guillemot family as running the company, but getting some private equity firms to come in and invest into Ubisoft. So maybe that also has a part to play in this. All right, jumping over here to a game that we now know is definitely going to be shown off at the Xbox and Bethesda showcase, and that is Ark 2. Now, I'm not really a fan of the Ark series, mainly because I haven't played it yet, so I never got into the first one, but they did show off this trailer here. They had Vin Diesel in it. Looks very interesting. Probably will be a big jump up from the first version of the game. And we do know that it is going to be shown off because Ark actually tweeted this out, Ark France, saying that they're getting ready for the Xbox and Bethesda showcase, and they will be having exclusive content for Ark 2 that will be shown off there. So if you're an Ark fan, you have this to look forward to for sure. Maybe there'll be some crazy surprise announcements where they say they're putting it into game preview or something for Ark 2, where we're going to be able to play this sometime this year. I think that would be very cool to get people into the series who haven't checked it out, and then also to cater to the people who have been playing the game since the beginning. All right, jumping over here to talk about Killer Instinct. This is a game very interesting to think about if they are going to be making a Killer Instinct 2, a new version of the game for the current generation of Xbox consoles. I put out a prediction that, hey, they're going to announce new Killer Instinct at the Xbox and Bethesda showcase. Absolutely just guessing. Have no idea if they will, but I would love to see it. I would love to see them announce a brand new Killer Instinct coming into Xbox Game Pass. I think it's something that is very needed for the Xbox portfolio because of the fact that it really is just lacking a first-party fighting game. And Killer Instinct 2013 back on the Xbox One, I thought was a great game, great combo system, great graphics, all that type of stuff. I had a ton of fun with it, and we haven't seen anything new from them since then. So a lot of people want to see it. But on the X-Class, they were talking about Killer Instinct, and there is the take going around that people are having a difference of opinion of, because they are saying that if they were to announce a new Killer Instinct, one, there would be no traction. People are just talking. It wouldn't catch on. And two, why do people want a new Killer Instinct? Because they're considering it just a Mortal Kombat clone. And this is the X-Cast clip here. You can go listen to it if you would like. But Paris tweets this out. It has come to my attention that our take on X-Cast about Killer Instinct was a wrong representation of the fighting community on Xbox. Please educate me so I can understand why we were wrong and have a better informed opinion moving forward. So people go down into the comments and they're giving their opinions on Killer Instinct and why they think the Xbox community would still want to play it. Go down here, Lots of different opinions, lots of things to talk about. This person here says why they need to release Killer Instinct 2 because a lot of players play the game. Is 10 million players before being released on Game Pass and Steam not enough? I guess the numbers are way more than that now, as this stat is almost 5 years old. And if we go down here to Killer Instinct tweeting it out, 10 million players and growing. Happy Killer Instinct on Steam launch day. Check out our Q&A for need to know details. So that's huge. I mean, 10 million players. This is a tweet from 2017. The game originally launched back on Xbox, on the Xbox One back in 2013. This was the Steam launch. Post up here saying y'all take was wrong. To say that Killer Instinct was never popular is wrong. To say that it was an MK clone is definitely wrong. It had a combo system way before Mortal Kombat had one. You could say that KI influenced Mortal Kombat's combo system. KI is still one of the best fighters, and netcode is unmatched. Response here, where do they think MK got the breaker system from that required 2 meters of the bar to drop off a combo in the most recent MKs? Guys got no clue what they're talking about. K Mega here saying KI 2013 is a 9-year-old fighter that has online matches you can play in seconds today, whereas other fighters that came out in 2021 already have dead lobbies. KI is also one of the most unique fighters ever. Look at how colorful SF6 looks. It's clear KI had some inspiration. So I mean, I think you guys get the point just with those couple of comments. Their take on Killer Instinct not being popular, people not wanting it being a Mortal Kombat clone in general, I think was the wrong take. I don't think it is correct. I think there is definitely enough uniqueness to Killer Instinct for people to want to play it. Enough want within the Xbox community to get a Killer Instinct 2 and it be a popular game, especially if they're throwing it right into Xbox Game Pass. You take a huge announcement for a new Killer Instinct, you hype it up, you show off the characters, you get people to know about this IP who may not know about it, even though this is a game that goes all the way back to the arcade days. If you played these games in the arcade, Killer Instinct was a machine that you always saw there. And then the 2013 release, I thought was an awesome release on Xbox One. It was one of the few highlights, I would say, for the launch of the Xbox One, was the ability to play the new Killer Instinct. I think if they're able to do things right with the marketing, get people hyped up for the game, launch into Game Pass Day 1, Killer Instinct 2, in my opinion, will be just a massive success. So I really hope that my prediction comes true on June 12th, or at the very least, at some point in the future, we get an announcement for a brand new Killer Instinct. But that's it for me, guys. Let me know your thoughts on all of these rumors about games coming that are going to be announced. And what do you think about Killer Instinct? Do you think there is a community on Xbox for it? And do you want to see a Killer Instinct 2? If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. If you're new here, you liked what you saw, consider hitting that subscribe button. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for your support. And I'll catch you in the next video.